A lot of things have happened in the MMA community today, specifically happening with Sean Strickland, Justin Gaethje, and Bryce Mitchell. They all gave their opinions on certain things happening at the UFC Whitehouse card, and we're going to go over everything. So let's first start off with what Strickland first got it into this mess, right? How Strickland got first into this mess. Let's listen to the man himself. This is what Strickland posted 10 hours ago. Sorry, Israel. By the way, we're still going to go. I'll bring a bullhorn. All right, so let's listen to what Strickland has to say.
I'm not, well, you guys, I'm not surprised, but I got the call. I got the call. The UFC higher-ups called me, big names. They said, Sean, I got to apologize, but you're not Israeli enough to go to UFC 250 Israel edition. The White House didn't clear you.
Also, great addition for Strickland. He wore his American shirt. You see that? Oh. He made sure to wear his American shirt. So they can't label him a traitor, which they may try to do for no reason at all. Can't really label him a traitor. He hasn't really done anything. He's repping the American merch. So, crafty move from Strickland.
And I'm not really surprised, I'm not really surprised. So, I think moving forward, I would like to just apologize to Israel. I'd like to say I'm sorry, I'd like to apologize to Trump, and I just want to prove that I'm Israeli enough for you guys. Like, for instance, whenever the list disappeared and Trump goes out there and says to everybody that he can't really go into it because people that by association will get prosecuted and their names will be tarnished. I want to apologize because I don't want them to be prosecuted. Or
the list is obviously, I think, a Playhouse Fun list. Actually, it was a bingo night list where everyone signed up and, they all did bingo on a specific island far away. There was entertainment and stuff while doing said bingo, and they talked business maybe, but not really too much business. It was really, just them having fun on an island because they all signed up to this bingo club, okay? So that's the list Strickland's talking about.
When Trump goes and bombs the fuck out of Iran that no Americans agree with, that cost Americans $5,000 to $15,000 to go fight Israel's war, I want to apologize. Sorry, I've been a critic of that. My allegiance was apparently in the wrong place, and I just want to apologize. Or when Trump goes out there and says, "Hey, Trump, your approval ratings are the lowest it's ever been across all demographics," and Trump says, "Well, you know what? I have a 99% approval rate in Israel. I want to apologize, and I want to repent, Apparently, I'm not American enough to go to Freedom 250, but I still got my ticket, so maybe we'll just go. I'll bring the bell, and we'll just stand outside the gate, and we'll just let them know what we really think about Trump and Israel,
If Strickland really wanted to be able to go to the White House card, he should have kept his nose broken, like how it looked like after the Chimaev fight, if you know, you know. But if he kept his nose looking like that and his overall face looking like it did after the Chimaev performance, after the Chimaev fight, where he won and he is now the middleweight world champion for the UFC, which they won't let one of the only American champions, the only male American champion, go to this White House card. Because he said some things that, freedom of speech, only one way, pal. It's only one way. And don't criticize anything. But moving on. Going to the White House, this was promised to me 3,000 years ago. Of course, Strickland is wearing his best get-up. He just crawled out of a tunnel, I'm pretty sure. If I've gotten, all the facts in from this photo, he did in fact crawl out of a tunnel right before taking this photo. And I think he controlled the weather or something. I'm not sure too much on all of that, but Strickland obviously looking amazing right there. Maybe if he shows up like this, they'll let him in. I highly doubt Trump is sitting there saying, "Don't clear Sean. I'm sure he knows nothing about me being blacklisted." But regardless, it was done. And this guy is saying, "You don't think they have a team to scan social before clearing you?" So maybe they're just saying, this guy's saying, "Hey, maybe they just don't like what you've posted on social media, as in terms of maybe threats or something." And so that's why they won't let you there, even though he just wants to be there as a spectator, as the only male American champion in the sport currently. But Ghislaine Maxwell getting work release. Government is compromised. Mother is MFer. This better be some long game where a massive list is made with receipts or Trump. You know, he did something to kids, is what Strickland's saying. This can only mean two things, It can only mean two things. Of course, when, I am so sorry is what Strickland says. Epstein wasn't an Israel asset. Maxwell being moved to a resort prison was a good thing and not suspicious. I've repented. I'm a good goy. Also, I forgot to show you this amazing one. If I've learned anything from Iran, it's goy slop is a real thing, and it's 34% of Americans' favorite food. Shut up, Chandler. Shut up, Chimaev. Shut up, Masvidal. Sorry. And then this is where Justin Gaethje has a problem. So, of course, someone responded to Strickland's video about him saying he's cut off from the Whitehouse card. Did he not have another... Oh, I'll have another video to show y'all then. He's saying, Ed Strickland may not to be an I told you so, but every American fighter going to this fight, in the octagon or not, should boycott the White House fights. At Justin Gaethje, why are we adding Alex Pereira, dude? He's Brazilian. At Sean O'Malley. I'd even take a Chandler even though he probably loves this. Anyways, but at Sean O'Malley at least, dude. Pereira's not American. I don't know. I know Sean Strickland said he is, but he's not. Gaethje, STFU, loser. So, shut up, loser. Keep my name out your mouth. Well, I was rooting for you, but I didn't realize you were a MAGA retard, responds this guy. I'm American. Beep. I don't need or want a coward support. You and Sean Strickland are relentlessly dumb. Strickland responds with, "You are a real good goy. Time to switch your flag." Which, of course, is in Justin Gaethje's bio. Did Gaethje respond here? No, he didn't. And then this is where Gaethje responds. This is where Strickland reposts, "If being a spineless makes you a good American, then you can have that title. Eat your goy slop. Just do me a favor and switch your flag to the Israeli flag. $5,000 to $15,000 cost to every hardworking American not getting paid millions. 13 dead Americans for Israel," which is, of course, they're saying, I think it's $5,000 to $15,000 costs for every hardworking American, which is for this war, to fund this war. It is taking $5,000 to $15,000 out of taxpayer dollars. And there have been 13 dead soldiers in this Iran war so far, which, I feel like is pretty common. I don't know why we're at war with Iran. I know they might have nukes in the future, but Strickland will say this later. They've always apparently been on the verge of having nukes. Traitor is what Strickland ends it with, which is deadly. I don't give two bleeps about you or Israel, God, family, country since day one. America, you are dumbest bleep. You bash our country every chance you get and expect to step foot on the White House grounds. Have a party with the rest of you American-hating goons. Called him a goon. Intense stuff from Gaethje. You hate America, Strickland says. Did your handler give you that line? Which, by the way, Ali Abdelaziz happens to be Justin Gaethje's manager, and I would not be surprised if Ali Abdelaziz is at the White House. And I don't know if you know this, but Ali Abdelaziz was doing some really funny, strange things on 9/11. The day of the attack. And he got caught before the attack occurred, with a lot of passports on him. And then he happened to rat out a bunch of people. That's all allegedly, of course. That's all allegedly. Not real. Didn't really happen, because it was allegedly. But, he could have possibly allegedly have done that, and I'd give you a high chance that he will be at the White House card. Strange for Ali Abdulaziz to be there. But did your handler give you that line? I love America and criticize the administration because everyone on this earth understands he is controlled by AIPAC. Of course, he is Trump. Iran will have nukes next month. 20 years ago, I have the list on my desk. Just stop. Yeah. And then Strickland goes on, replying to a bunch of people. A lot of words go back and forth between Strickland and Justin Gaethje. Now, I will say, as an American, I know MMA Guru, I saw he did a video about this, which, God, dude. Let me make a video first, okay, Guru, and then you can do yours where you suck up all the views, because now I'm going to get nothing. So I'm going to make this video because this was hilarious. But, this is Strickland on him wanting to protest the Whitehouse card now. He's going to protest it. I think Brian Miller must have really gotten to Strickland's head because... do you finish the video, by the way? I don't know if we ever finished the video.
Bell, and we'll just stand outside the gate and we'll want to repent. And I want to repent, you know? Apparently, I'm not American enough to go to Freedom 250.
I think I stopped here.
But I still got my ticket. So maybe we'll just go. I'll bring the bell and we'll just stand outside the gate and we'll just let them know what we really think about Trump and Israel, you know?
So Strickland said in this original video, he's still going to go. He'll bring his belt. He'll probably do like a meet and greet, fan meetup or whatever outside the gate 10 hours ago. But now, when was this? 9 hours ago. An hour later, after Mr. Brian Miller brought it up to his attention. Sean Strickland says he's flying to D.C. to protest the UFC Whitehouse event.
Yes, I already bought my plane ticket. We're fucking going. I'm going to bring the belt. I'm making a big fucking bullhorn and we're going to go right up to the gates. So, if you guys are going to be there, let's fucking go. Not in a threatening way. We're going to do a peaceful protest outside with a bullhorn. So, you know, FBI, don't come into my house. Very, very peaceful bullhorn. Well, you guys, I'm not surprised, but I got the call. I got the call.
Oh.
The UFC.
So, of course, Strickland did say it was peaceful. He better watch out. A certain nation does not like it when you don't have weapons and don't fight back at all. They will bomb you still. You know? Like prime Barack Obama over there next to Iran. Bombing innocent children. So... you be careful, Strickland, because you saying that you're peaceful, you may think that's going to protect you, that may shield you. That's actually putting a target on your back because you're peaceful, because you have no weapons, because you have no plans to be a combatant. That for certain people, that, you know, big target on your back now is all I got to say. Moving on, we have did this. Bryce Mitchell has weighed in. Bryce Mitchell, of course, this is in response to him seeing that Strickland was banned. Let's hear what Bryce Mitchell has to say about this. This is, of course, for the media day for UFC Fight Night Billabong Firm. I think that's Vegas 114, I believe. But let's see what Bryce Mitchell has to say about this, all right?
Did you see that Sean Strickland got banned from the White House for talking about Israel?
I'm not surprised at all. Freedom of speech is what really makes this country great. And when you can't criticize a foreign nation, come on, man. We ought to be able to criticize our own nation, let alone a foreign nation. In fact, that's the only nation you're not allowed to criticize.
Uh-oh. You know, see, Bryce Mitchell says some things here where, you know, freedom of speech is freedom of speech for a reason. And I think criticizing your own country, there's, of course, levels to it, but the way to get better as a country is to criticize yourself until there's no criticisms left. That's just basic. You know, when you turn in an essay, when you turn in a rough draft, what are you going to get? Something back. Your teacher's going to hand it back, a lot of red scribbly notes saying, all right, fix on this, fix on this, fix on this, fix on this. I feel like we as the people right? Americans as a whole should say, hey, rescue the line, boom, circle around maybe something else, maybe like 3 exclamation points next to something we don't like on that rough draft. We have to say, hey, we need to change some things. You know, that's the whole point of a democracy, is that we get to kind of control that. But now it seems criticizing it, like I get enticing riots, like the whole stupid ICE stuff. If you're like going out and into the public and like protesting ICE and stuff like that, when they're mainly are getting like criminals, I don't know. I do understand there are some innocent people getting involved. But help legally, you know. Let's not get shot, pal. Let's not get shot, die, and then have them Photoshop your picture when you're dead and make you look handsomer. I'm sure that would never happen. Anyways, but yeah, we need to, you know, criticizing country has happened all throughout time. We've gotten better and better until, you know, recently, you know, maybe some foreign virus like corona. A foreign virus may have, you know, infected us, and we have to, you know, isolate ourselves. You know, we may have to isolate 6 feet apart for a couple months. You know, let's just isolate from this foreign virus that may have gotten us sick and infested. And kind of just like do, you know, little retcon. You know, I don't know. I'm talking crazy. I'm talking crazy. I'm not suicidal, by the way. I can swim. My dog doesn't eat my own head off. That's a reference to... Watch the Boys on the Tracks video. This video in Arkansas, 2 boys were found dead on the tracks, dead on the track, and some crazy cover-up stuff was happened. So you watch a video on that. Very informative video about how the government may hide stuff. Bill Clinton. I think it was Bill Clinton. Anyways, oh sorry, I was taken away from Bryce. Bryce, what do you have to say?
Something's going to change because evil empires don't last forever. There's always a rebellion.
What are your thoughts on the UFC Whitehouse just in general? Like,
I do want to be on the card.
You do want to be on the card.
I do.
See, that's surprising. I would have thought Bryce would be like Strickland. What Strickland isn't really wanting to not be on the card. I'm sure if Strickland asked, he would be on the card. I would not think that Bryce would want to be on the card. Now, maybe it's because if he was on the card, I don't know if you know this. The UFC is a live thing, and you don't know what the fighter's going to say until they have that mic in their hands. So maybe that's why Bryce wanted to be on that card. Get a win. Get on the mic. Apologize. Get on the mic and, you know, spread some gospel. Maybe let people know who could possibly be intruding within the U.S., infiltrating. I don't know. That's a possibility that Bryce could be thinking about. Bryce could be thinking about that. And I'm sure Sean Strickland could have also because he said himself he would have been calling out people. And so what Strickland's plan was, Josh Hokett, please do something with this post-fight speech. All right? It doesn't have to be crazy. You know, P.S. Brittany Griner was a man on that level. You know, just P.S. real quick. Say something. If not, I will still love you because you're hilarious, Josh Hokett. That high five was just for him. Moving on.
And this is what I got to say. First off, I ain't jealous of any of those fighters. I'm so happy for those fighters. If they need me to fill in, if I'm healthy, hey, I'll do it. For the UFC, I think it's great. It's beyond great. It's literally the perfect scenario. But what I think personally is that our government is desecrating its role in society by entertaining sports. Our government is to protect and serve the people, and really should be as minimal as possible when you're doing all of this stuff.
So basically what Bryce is saying is he doesn't feel jealous for the fighters. They get to be on probably what's going to be the most historical UFC card. Honestly, the most historical sporting event in history. If you don't count the Olympics as like a sporting event, because it's more of like a worldwide showcase, if you want to say it that. It is sports, but you're competing with each other. This is like a purely individual sporting event, probably the biggest that's going to ever happen in American history, possibly even world history. I mean, what other sporting event has there been where it's an individual sport that is brought en masse by the government itself? I can't think of one. I know. Excuse me. I know Peter Yan was talking about hopefully doing one in Russia, a similar Whitehouse card in Russia. But that'd be something. But really, there's no other event in history like the Whitehouse card, which is kind of weird. It's also outdoors. I'm now realizing, so I may hate it, dude. How is the glare gonna work? I don't know. But yeah, so Bryce Mitchell is saying he doesn't feel bad for the fighters. For the UFC, it's the best thing ever. Like I said, most historical sporting event in history, and the UFC is a part of it. They're probably going to make some money, if I had to guess. I don't know if they're making money. I'd hope they wouldn't. I hope they wouldn't be. I'd hope it'd be of course they get the Paramount play, but I'm talking about from the people there, I'd hope they wouldn't make money because it seems a little morally unsound, in my opinion, using the Whitehouse lawn, using the government's kind of prestige, which, depending on who you ask, the government prestige is not there, but, in general, like how the world sees us, the government prestige, using it to make money does seem a little shady, in my opinion, but, so he's saying it's great for the UFC, great for the fighters, but the thing is, as an American ourselves, as a UFC fan, I love this. It's going to make the UFC bigger. It's sick fights, all on one card. It's just the main card too, so I don't have to watch 3 women's fights before that. But the thing is, as an American, because I'm American, not you, Guru, so this is actually kind of 1-to-1. You should actually be going to my video more than Guru's. Sorry. I just need the views. And subscribers. Come on, guys. 20 subscribers. I need more. Let's pump those numbers up. It is very concerning seeing how involved the U.S. government is with an individual company, with Paramount, because, they own the UFC. Well, at least the streaming rights. Don't look at TKO, who owns the UFC, and who owns the owner of TKO. Might be friends with Benjamin Netanyahu. I wouldn't know, okay? I wouldn't know. But it is concerning, like I said, how closely related they are, because it makes you think the government must be getting something out of this too. Like, sure, it may just be Trump's birthday, and he just wants to celebrate it like that. He's gonna do it in the most Trump way possible, which is, of course, putting on a UFC fight on the White House lawn. But there's gotta be something that the government's gonna get out of this, in my opinion. You don't just do this. It's Trump's birthday. We're gonna put this on the White House card. Huge risk, first of all, because Trump will be there. A lot of elites will be there. It's outside. I don't know if you need to know this, but some duck shooting or something was happening outside the front lawn of the White House not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago by now. It's just very strange how much of a risk they're taking with this. I think, if you had to guess, I think any normal person's gonna think they're probably gonna get something out of this. Now, what is it? I don't know. Maybe influence some audience with some messages or something. I don't know. Maybe hypnotize everybody. I'm just joking. But like I said, the government, like Bryce Mitchell said, the government's here to ultimately help the people, fix roads, public education, stuff like that, where it's just the hand of the government is not supposed to be something you can see. It's called the invisible hand for a reason, which I think it's what it's called. It's called the invisible hand of the government for a reason. You're not supposed to feel it, or you're supposed to not see it, but you can feel it. We're seeing it and feeling it with this UFC Whitehouse card, pretty heavy-handedly. My goodness, there's a lot of dust up there. I need to wipe that off. I am sleeping under that. My goodness. Anyways, it's just very strange. Is what I'm gonna say. Let me let Bryce continue. I apologize. I rambled on.
Of hosting sporting events, it's really outside of what the goal of the government was intended to be, because our tax dollars and resources are funding this operation. And like I said, I'm not criticizing the UFC. I love Dana, I love Hunter, I love Sean, Mick, I love all of them. But the government should never be hosting sporting events, because there's more room for corruption, and we already have a corrupted government. The government is supposed to protect us, not entertain us.
Did you see that Sean Strickland got?
I mean, that's like seeing the government, because basically the UFC is sponsored by like Monster and stuff. The government is advertising brands on the White House lawn. Is having brands being advertised. Now maybe, hopefully, the UFC canvas is going to look different for the UFC Freedom 250. Maybe there's going to be no advertisement on it. Maybe it's just going to be the canvas UFC Freedom 250. Maybe a special edition canvas where it's the American flag. I hope they don't. Just keep the American flag. Just don't mess with the UFC floor or whatever it's called. The canvas, the mat, the cage. Don't mess with the cage. Like when it was yellow for UFC 200, what are we doing, pal? It was blue at some point, like a dark blue. Let's keep this gray. You have the UFC logo. Maybe you can have a special logo instead of the stupid Monster Scan logo in the middle. And like primer all around the sides. Hopefully they remove the advertisements. But again, Bryce is saying it's very, very heavy-handed with how hand-in-hand this is with the government. And how it's wasting American dollars to make this whole... is it a waste of American dollars? I don't know. I guess on the point that it's on the White House lawn and it's being excavated in the building of it, maybe it's Bryce thing, but I think Dana paid for that. I can't be too sure. Don't quote me on that. I think the UFC paid for it to be built there. If not, then definitely that is a crazy use of American taxpayer dollars to build basically a UFC event right on the lawn is insane. But Bryce says a lot of correct things in this video. He says a lot of correct things all the time. He has been... By the way, Bryce is on the Apex fight event, right? He's on the Apex card against Santiago Luna. Crazy up-and-comer, short notice. He was supposed to fight Victor Henry. Victor Henry. I'm going to make a video of top UFC fighters I hate, ranked and unranked. Victor Henry. You made the list, pal. Okay, you and Charles Johnson are tier 1. You don't want to be on the fighters I hate tier list, okay? You don't want to be. Because I was going to make also a top active fighters tier list, and then Bedtime MMA beat me to it. So I was going to make this video. Guru beats me to it. I got to stop. I got to not work out. Okay? No more gym. Alright? We're going straight to the video. But anyways, that's the video for today. Just going over some very... criticizing things of certain people, of certain power over certain nations who control certain people and the way they think in a certain way, and who maybe certain people have flown to an island to do certain things. Again, it was that bingo night club, I'm pretty sure, but possibly visited an island or two in their time, are being controlled by other certain people who bomb churches. Children, that may be happening. Where, the criticism may be coming from that. I don't know. This was a very good joke that I did. Because none of this I meant seriously. Thought I was serious earlier? Nah, I wasn't. I was just joking. I was just playing around. Anyways, don't be funny. Make some money. Buy the numbers. Peace out. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Like, comment, subscribe.